Okay. Is my voice audible? Mohammed Irshad, Asya, Rexy, Sanobar, Kelvin, Naeem, Sheikh, and Jay. Is it perfect? I haven't received the test paper from the people who were present yesterday. How about the test paper? I haven't received that. Can you please let me know in the chat box? Okay. So we are going to do the same chapter today itself. That is communication chapter. Okay. So just wait for 2 to 3 minutes. Let the chapter come on the board. And then we're going to start with it. Okay. So let's get started, okay? Alright. Wait. Just a second. So we have already covered these parts, right? Okay. Now let's start. So we have finished till, I'll tell you. I'll tell you what all stuffs we have done. No, telephone techniques we haven't covered. Wait, it's taking a lot of time. I'm going to see it at mine and then I'll move to the specific page. Okay. See, I think we have covered till, no, this we haven't. This side. Okay, counting, interagreement, rejection. Yeah, agency pairs we have done. Opening and closing. That is, we have to go to page number 13. Yeah. Okay, fine. Let's start. Yeah, good evening, Divya. Alright, so let's get started. We have already covered an array of things in this. Now we have to start from here, that is opening and closing. Okay? Are you able to see the board properly? Prabha, Divya, Darshana, KP Ramakrishnan, Dijesh, Sheikh, Naeem, Sanobar and Rakshi. Okay. Conversation. It is pointed out, do not simply begin and end. The opening and closing of conversations and other types of speech events are organized and orderly. All transitions from a state of non-talk to talk or from talk to non-talk require engineered solutions. Opening and closings are problematic for the native speakers as well as and have to be learned like other social behaviors. For non-native speakers, it is an area which needs special attention. So see, when we are having a conversation, if the opening is not up to the mark, nobody is going to pay heed to your, nobody is going to pay heed to, for your communication, right? Because they'll think that if opening is not good, they'll lose interest at that very moment, right? And closing has to be good as well, because you have to sum up what you have said. right? Opening and closing are speech event specific. For a formal meeting, for example, there is an initial summon, a memo, circular along with the agenda. We will talk about this topic in detail when we discuss below different types of face-to-face interaction. A conversation is quite different from many other speech events in that it has no specified setting, no time or place, no required rules other than persons involved, right? So see, when it comes to conversation, it can happen anywhere. It can happen between any two people, okay, or even more people, and there is no time for that. So you just cannot stay prepared for that. So you should know all the like rules you should follow in order to have a good communication, in order to have a effective communication, right? No, and it hasn't got any agenda and a quorum of simply two or more. Like other speech activities, however, conversation must be open, and commonly this is done through the use of an agency pair. I have taught you about agency pair, right? Right, everyone? What is agency pair? Just write down the definition of agency pair. Just give me an example of agency pair in the chat box. It's like if I'm saying something, like, if someone asks you, how are you? You say, I am fine. So this is an agency pair. There is an expected answer to a specific question. So that is a agency pair, right? Right? Prabhavati is saying, okay, how about others? What is an agency pair? Give me an example. Everyone needs to give an example. Give me an example. Come on. Okay, great, K.P. Ramakrishnan. Others? Okay, fine, cool. Now, good morning. B. Morning, can I help you? I want to see Mr. Bhatnagar. Which Mr. Bhatnagar do you want? We have two Bhatnagars in this office. Mr. Mukul Bhatnagar, he is the Director, Finance. Do you have an appointment? I'm afraid not. Let me check if he is free. You are Mr. Malhotra, Deepak Malhotra from ABC. Mr. Malhotra takes his seat after a few minutes in the waiting room. I'm sorry. He is in the meeting. When is the meeting likely to be over? No idea. Can I take the message? Will you tell him I came to see him? I will certainly. Thank you. You are welcome. So you can see agency pair is being followed, right? Here. Another important dimension of conversational organization is the way topics are selected for discussion within and the strategies used by the speakers to introduce, develop or change topics within the conversation. Okay. Choice of topics, for example, in a business meeting, members will take turn to speak only on the items on the agenda notified in advance, right? They see when it comes to conversation, especially like business communication, you just cannot speak anything. Whatever has to be discussed, yeah, sure. Whatever has to be discussed, whatever is mentioned in agenda, you just need to take, when your turn is going to come, you need to speak on that specific thing, right? Right? Right or not? Yeah. Topics may develop in a recognizable structure. As for example, the language of conversation, you have to do this activity. Okay, between a car dealer and a customer looking for a small family car. Okay, so you have to do this. Come on, right answer for this one. That is check your progress 11th. Okay, okay. Okay, fine, fine. Now, turn taking. Conversation by definition involves two or more people, but the distribution of talking among the participants is not merely random. It is governed by turn taking norms. Here, actually, they are talking about business meetings. Okay, in business meetings, you just cannot talk whenever you feel like talking. Whenever there is your turn, whenever you are being asked to speak something, then only you can speak. Conventions, okay, which determine who talks when and for how long. So, when it comes to a meeting, the agenda is pre-decided and who is going to talk for how many minutes and what he or she is going to talk about. It is being pre-decided, right? One who talks too much and does not allow time for others, or one who contributes nothing to the conversation, arouses negative evaluation. Suppose there is a meeting held, okay, and if some of you or someone specific, okay, all of you, this is just an example, don't take it otherwise, okay, personally. Suppose there is a meeting and I am the one, okay, when my turn comes, I just speak things which doesn't like suits the agenda of the meeting. What is going to happen? People are going to give me negative remarks, right? And if I'm talking something but it doesn't serve the purpose of the meeting, people are going to give me negative remark, right? Right? Yeah. So rules for turn taking differ according to the type of speech event. In the classroom, for example, students generally raise a hand to take a turn to talk. Repairs. The process of conversation involves monitoring to ensure that intended messages have been communicated and understood. This involves correction whenever it is suspected that the message has not been received as intended. Okay, suppose something has to be conveyed. Okay, Suppose I am the speaker in the meeting, main speaker in the meeting, and I'm saying something, and if I make it out from the gestures of the participants that they are not able to follow anything, I'll have to repair it. That means I will have to make an effort to rectify, to make them understand. The term repair refers to the efforts by the speaker or the hearer to correct trouble spots in conversation. Either speaker is going to correct it, or either like participant is going to raise their hands and they'll say that no, I didn't follow this part, can you please explain it to me? This is how it should be, this is what you were saying, something of that kind. Repairs may be initiated either by the speaker or the hearer. Mr. Malhotra is not in his office. Sorry, Mr. Malhotra is not in his office at the moment. So this is how it has been rectified by A. Now, conversational problems of second foreign languages users. The maxims and rules for conversation differ from culture to culture, and hence pose problems for non-native speakers. Okay, so see, culture is not same worldwide, right? Culture different. I mean, it differs. So what happens? Like rules for the specific language are changed. It's not like whatever the way we speak English in India, the same way Americans are also going to speak English. It's not like that. You'll find some differences based on their culture, right? As we can see in salutations, right? In India, if someone is writing miss, like miss, what does that mean? She is unmarried. But in America, it means something else, right? It has nothing to do with your marital status, right? Whether you are married or not. In India, what they do, they either shake hands or they kiss on forehead or hands. But in India, this is not taken positively, right? Okay. There may be different conventions operating in the mother tongue and target language. Yes. We have already hinted at some of the problems while describing the maxims and rules above. Let us consider some more problems and how we can overcome them. Can you recall what we said about the non-native use of maxims of quantity? Non-native speakers may provide less information than is expected of them. Another crucial problem could be to interpret the intended speech act appropriately. Okay? Consider what is wrong with the following interaction. Okay? Hello, B. A is saying hello and B is saying ABC distributors good morning. A. Can I speak to Mr. Malhotra? Yes, you can. Evidently, B has misunderstood A's question as a question rather than a request to bring the person on the line. Right? What do you think would be the right response? Can you rectify this, please? A is saying hello and B is saying ABC distributors good morning. Okay. And then A is asking, can I speak to Mr. Malhotra? B is saying, yes, you can. So how you can rectify this interaction? See, there is some issue. See, there is an issue with this conversation. You have to rectify that. See, what is happening here? A's question is actually B has misunderstood A's question as a question rather than a request. Okay, so A is actually requesting B. Okay, about something to bring to bring Mr. Malhotra, to give phone to Mr. Malhotra. So rectify this, please. No, see, it should be like A is calling and B has picked up the phone. B should say, "Hi, I'm calling from ABC Distributors. Very good morning. How may I help you?" Right? And when B said yes, you can, rather than saying yes, you can, she would have said, she or he, I don't know. Okay, that yes, I will connect to Mr. Gupta now. I mean Mr. Malhotra now. Fine. Supply an appropriate response for the following. Would you mind closing the door, please? What would be the appropriate response which should be given by B? Write it down in the chat box, everyone out there. Okay. How about others? Please write your response. Fine. Agency pair is another crucial area which poses problems. Okay, questions, particularly yes or no type questions, are not always requests for information but maybe requests for action. The problem arises because you are taught to reply to yes no questions with yes or no plus a repetition of the verb, okay, or auxiliary used in the question. Example: customer, do you have oranges? Yes, I do. The response may be grammatically correct, but does it sound natural to you? Practicing only yes and no plus repetition of the verbs often leads to such short stilted replies which, while grammatically correct, may be conversationally inappropriate. Okay, yes I do. Do you have oranges? Yes I do. So grammatically this is very correct, but you know, like conversation wise it looks weird. So rather than saying yes I do, shopkeeper would have said yes I have oranges. What do you need is a large stock of agency pairs and practice in using them in a wide range of situations. Think for the moment how the inquiry in your mother tongue would have responded to by the fruit seller. What you require is to practice other agency pairs such as request, grant, challenge. Customer, do you have oranges? Fruit seller, yes they are. How many do you want? All fresh and cheap too. The likes of these you will get nowhere in the market. Okay. Native speakers often consider non-native speakers overly passive in conversation. Okay. There are two reasons. One, that non-native speakers tend to provide only second pair parts, leaving all first pair part to their interlocutors, answering questions with yes and no. Right? Like if I ask you what is your name, you'll say, this, Prabhavati. Okay, rather than saying, we can say, yes, my name is Prabhavati. I'm Prabhavati. Nice meeting you. How about you? What's your name? Are you working with ABC company? Yes. Again, long stretch of silence. This leads to non-native speakers initiating all questions which rarely happen in natural social conversation. Right? Instead of simply answering a question, you must learn to answer a question, give some extra information, and ask another question, as in customer fruit seller's conversation given above, right? See, fruit seller is not just responding to question by saying yes or no. He is also providing extra information, right? Opening and closing are also problematic for foreign language learners. The learners may not know what to say and hence just may transliterate from his or her own mother tongue, as in the following case. A customer comes into the store and seems to be looking for something. The shop assistant comes to him to help him. Sir, shop assistant, what do you want, sir? The customer does not seem to feel pleased and leaves the store. What do you think has offended the customer? What should have the shop assistant said to help the customer? So why, customer left the shop? He hasn't said anything offended. If he feels offended, the customer, what was the reason? What is the reason? Tell me. So what is the issue with this conversation? Tell me. Please write it in the chat box. The shop assistant, he leaves the store. What was the reason? Yes. This is the course, so we need not to do this. Okay, this hasn't. So fine. In this unit, we have tried to understand what communication is and define it as the process of meaningful interaction between two or more persons. Suppose I am teaching in a class, okay, and no one responds to me properly. How will I feel? Will it be a effective communication? No. I'll feel that these people are here just for the sake of attendance, right? And even I will lose my interest, right? Okay. Meaningful interaction between two or more persons with a view to arriving at a common meaning and understanding. Communication can be achieved through the use of language, written or spoken, and gestures. There are different types of communication, okay, and these are used on different occasions. Each of these modes of communication, okay, has its own advantages and disadvantages. Communication may involve repeated interactions or negotiations of meaning, and the addresser and addressee play active roles in this process. So if the addresser is playing active role and addressee is not paying heed to it, the other party will also lose interest and it won't be an effective one. Effective communication in business is as important as the blood circulating in the human body, and hence managers do their best to overcome all barriers to communication. Further, we also describe different types of face-to-face interactions, especially conversation, its main features, and how to develop it to make it a meaningful one. We have also described briefly some other types of face-to-face interactions and how they differ from each other. saying, is my voice audible? Is my voice audible? I am saying you have to write the short summary of whatever you have learned in this chapter, and once you are done with that, I am going to teach you the next chapter. Fine? Yeah, I know. Fine, KP Ramakrishnan. How about others? Just finish it fast so that we can begin with the new chapter. Please sum it up in 2 minutes. I don't want it to be too big. Okay, so time is over now. Okay. Let's start the new chapter. Fine. Okay, let's start with the new chapter. Okay. See, in this chapter we are going to learn about these stuff. Like we are going to learn about objectives, what is warm-up, speaking and listening, commonly used phrases, conversation, conference calls, vocabulary, writing and listening, leaving a message, grammar and usage, the perfect tenses, pronunciation, contracted form, summary, suggested reading, answers to check your progress. Now, what we will show you the difference between face-to-face and telephone conversation and conference calls. We will introduce you to certain commonly used words and phrases while telephoning, as well as certain conventional expressions which you may learn. Since we often need to ask questions in a telephone conversation, we will revise questions with you. In the pronunciation section, we will deal with contracted forms, like the contracted form of I, it should not is shouldn't, would not is wouldn't. Now, warm up. Look at the picture below. Can you identify what is happening in each of them? Discuss with a partner the differences between face-to-face conversation and telephonic conversation. Rearrange the following features in the respective tables. First of all, you have to identify what is happening in these pictures, and you know how face-to-face communication is different from telephonic conversation. Fine. Is it clear? Yeah, just write it down. So what is happening? I think, in the first picture, as I can make it out from the first picture, this is a business meeting, and they are greeting each other by shaking hands. They might be, business professionals. And in the second one, I guess this man is a secretary and he is answering to at some, company, and he is answering the call, right? Now, what is the difference between face-to-face communication and telephonic conversation? You have to write that down in the chat box. Okay, okay. Check your progress. Now, face to face. In face to face conversation, we can make eye contact, right? We can make eye contact in face to face communication, right? Rearrange the following features in the respective tables. So see, whatever stuff is written in these two tables, it might not be applicable to the specific kind of conversation, so you have to rearrange it, right? So come on, do this. Can we shake hands in telephone conversation? No, it should be here, right? Right or not? So come on, rearrange the table. We can't see our partner. This should be here. Write it down. Write your answers in the chat box. Rearrange both the tables. Just put the heading telephonic conversation and whatever should be listed under that, just put that as 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. We make eye contact. This is correct. We shake hands. This should come here in under face-to-face conversation. Okay. Okay. Fine. See, we make eye to eye contact. This is correct. We speak slowly. We can't see our partner. This should come here. We use our hands to show directions face to face. We speak casually and we say hello and may I take your message. This should go here. We smile in face to face conversation, not here. We guess the other person's reaction. This is applicable to on the telephone. We can see our counterpart reaction face to face. We speak carefully, telephone. We speak a little loudly since the other person may not hear us, telephone. We try to be brief, telephone. Now, effective telephone conversation comes only with practice, but it is possible to acquire the skills needed to make successful telephone calls in all situations. The language used on the telephone is specialized, but it is easy to acquire the most common expression used in various situations. Right? Yeah. Once you have mastered the expressions used while receiving a phone call, planning your phone calls in advance and preparing notes for them can control the rest of the conversation so that you do not fumble on the phone. Now, there are a number of phrases and idioms that are commonly used while telephoning. Let's take a look at a dialogue. Operator: hello Gulshan and brothers. Can I help you? Amit: this is Amit Kumar. Can you get me extension 4200 please? Operator: certainly. Hold on a minute. I will put you through. Okay? Kamla: Hari Singh's office. Kamla Jagannathan speaking. Amit: this is Amit Kumar calling. Is Hari in? Kamla: I'm afraid he's out at the moment. Can I take a message? Amit: yes. Could you ask him to call me at this number? I need to talk to him about the big jam contract. It's urgent. Kamla: could you repeat the number please? Amit: yes, that's this. And Amit Kumar. Kamla: thank you Mr. Kumar. I will make sure Mr. Singh gets this message. Amit: thanks, bye. Kamla: bye. Study the expressions in bold above and those in the speeches balloons below. Can I help you? Can you get me? Okay, certainly. I will put you through. Is Hari in? I'm afraid he's out at the moment. Can I take a message? Could you ask him to call me? Could you repeat? I'll make sure Mr. Singh gets this message. Now, this is Amit. Amit speaking. May I know who is speaking, calling? Excuse me. Who am I? So this is how you have to, speak on telephone. Could I speak to someone? I would like to speak to. Okay. Hold on a moment, please. Okay. Putting you through. All these are, like in business world. They connect to business world only. Telephone technique. Please connect me to so and so. I'm sorry, he is not available at the moment. Could you tell me when he is expected will be back? No, not until this evening. I'm afraid. How can I help you? Could you please ask him to give me a ring, call me back? Is there anything I can do? Okay. Thank you very much. Thanks for the help. Sure, I'll give him the message as soon as he gets it. Now work with a friend or partner sitting back to back and participate in the following conversations. Use the expressions that you have studied above. Okay, so let's go through the expressions which are listed here. So just read it please. Sorry. Just read these expressions. saying, see whatever is written, in this speech value, in these speech values, you have to read that. Okay, just read it, please. So are you done with it, everyone out there? Have you read the expression which is there in the balloons? Yes or no? Okay. Now, this we are going to do tomorrow. We are done for today. Do you have any questions for me? Anyone out there? Do you have any questions for me? So today is Wednesday, Friday. On Friday we are going to continue with the same. Okay. And we are going to have the class on the same time. At the same time, we are going to have a class at the same time. So please be there. Please be on time. Okay. And don't forget to fill the feedback form. Okay. So we'll continue with this in the next class itself. Thank you so much.